Best scene from TALATRICS. Interior Training Center, afternoon, day 271, year 5515. All the first year students are paying close attention to this mismatch fight. RT is tiny compared to Jonathan.
Before you begin, it's important for you to understand something. Every opponent is equal in a physical sense. Do not let your mind create fear that is not rational.
The students are having a hard time believing this.
But the mass of different bodies is a truth that cannot be denied.
When your mass and their mass are added together, that is the total mass of the fight. It is all one mass with moving parts. Forget yours and theirs.
RT looks at Jonathan and back to Alia. Oh, really?
But I can hit a lot harder than she can.
If she redirects the force of your hit, then she can hit just as hard. Strength comes from knowledge. Please repeat that, everybody.
They look around at each other, unsure if they should actually repeat it.
That's an order. Strength comes from knowledge.
The students are getting it. She's hardcore military. They snap too this time.
Strength comes from knowledge.
Good.
Alia goes to RT and whispers something in her ear. RT nods, unsure, but she'll try it.
The first one to pin the other, or whoever gets the other to surrender, wins the round. The rules are, you may not leave the room, and you may not hold anybody else in the room hostage. Bow to me.
RT and Jonathan bow respectfully to Alia.
And bow to each other.
They bow to each other, looking eye to eye and both awkward.
Ready yourselves.
Both RT and Jonathan get into a ready pose that is not exactly professional, but is their best guess at it.
Fight.
Jonathan lunges at RT, who quickly evades him. Jonathan stumbles, regroups.
Good. Keep at it.
RT stands well out of his reach and makes him chase her. He comes for her again, this time trying for her legs, but we've already seen how fast RT is when she was horsing around with Avi, who glances over while wrestling with that Velena, who is also fast. Jonathan corners RT on the edge of the mat. Suddenly RT breaks the official fighting zone on the mat, runs at top speed across the huge training center away from Jonathan.
She can't do that.
I never said she had to stay on the mat.
Crap.
Jonathan runs after her.
She's just gonna make him run around and get tired. Whatever it takes to win.
They're both getting winded, but he takes way more energy to move than she does.
This makes sense in theory, but it's not practical if you need to subdue someone quickly.
That's what happens in an even fight. It becomes about strategy. Your mind is your greatest weapon. Repeat that, students.
Your mind is your greatest weapon.
The older students are now paying attention since RT and Jonathan are disrupting their various grappling sessions. Avi watches his sister, proud. Velena catches Avi off guard with a leg sweep, and she nails him to the mat. They laugh together in their own world for a moment. RT sees Avi, gets pinned, and runs faster. She feels suddenly alone. Jonathan gives chase, but RT is dodging, doing somersaults, jumping over and sliding under equipment that he is too big to navigate. He has to go around it or pick it up and throw it, which he does in frustration with a long table that RT ducked under.
Incoming!
The long table comes flying and everyone disperses except Alia, who moves towards the flying table, jumps and grabs it mid-flight, using her weight to change its course. She lands holding the table, and instantly Alia spins on her axis like a shot put thrower. She spins twice, slowing down, and the table comes to rest easily. Impressive. They're all safe, and she's more than proved her point. Everyone watches this fight chase. Some of the students are placing bets. RT begins to climb a rope. Jonathan climbs the rope right under her. He has more upper body strength and is gaining on her. This could get bad.
There's nowhere else to go.
He's getting closer and closer.
I'm counting on it.
As RT reaches the top and Jonathan is just under her, she lets go of the rope and lets herself fall backwards. She flips in the air and lands on Jonathan's back like a monkey, clinging onto him with her arms and wrapping her legs around his waist. He tries but can't get her off without letting go of the rope, and if he does, they both fall to the ground. He's fucked.
Damn it.
RT snakes her arm around his throat, pulling him in a chokehold, but she knows if he passes out, they'll both fall.
You give up?
Hell no.
Through a restricted windpipe. Jonathan tries to shake RT off him. She clings on for dear life, the rope swinging wildly.
Students, I believe we have just seen a very excellent demonstration of the equalizing of physical size.
But neither one of them can win this. It's a stalemate.
Doesn't have to be. It depends on who thinks they can survive the fall and who's willing to risk it.
Being so close to Jonathan and him so close to her, RT notices he's actually really adorable, strong, focused. but not cruel, even in his anger. A change comes over her face while they're struggling nearly cheek to cheek. Is she blushing? That's embarrassing. RT buries her head in the back of Jonathan's neck and chokes him harder, through a choked throat.
If you keep choking me, we're both gonna fall.
RT lifts up her head and meets his eyes.
If I stop choking you, I'll lose the fight. I can't lose this.
Jonathan looks at her and sees not an opponent, but a woman pleading with him. He softens for a moment, but then, nope, through a choked throat.
Nice try.
Jonathan lets go of one arm and reaches it over his head, hooking her shoulder with his hand. Lifting her off of him while holding the rope in the other hand would be easy if she wasn't squeezing the crap out of his waist with her legs, feet locked at his stomach.
Would you just let go of me?
RT looks down at all the students below them, her brother looking back at her, stealing her resolve. What can she do now? Jonathan begins to loose his one-handed grip. He puts both hands back on the rope, giving up trying to throw her off. Now concentrating on pressing his chin into her arm, trying to break the chokehold. RT knows he's struggling but doesn't want to give up either. Through a choked throat.
Even if you land on top of me, you'll still probably break both your legs.
It would be a lot worse for you.
Through a choked throat.
Not if I land on you.
Jonathan and RT both look down. RT hears her mother's voice in her mind.
Promise me that you'll do your best. No more holding back.
RT hears Warren's voice in her mind.
I know who you are.
RT hears Genovar's voice in her mind.
Tell everyone your name, please. And what does the T stand for?
Thorn.
RT hears the same murmur of the students reacting to her name the first time she said it in the dining hall. She looks down and sees the students eyeing her in disbelief. She shouldn't be that strong. It's not normal. She decides to stop choking Jonathan, just as she releases her chokehold and moves her hands to his shoulders. Suddenly, RT feels that presence again, of someone trying to enter her mind. She tries to build up her defenses, but she can't concentrate on that, and holding on at the same time. Her feet loosen and unlock their hold around his waist.
What are you doing?
RT starts getting warm again. Her skin flushes. Her hands start to slip off his shoulder. She looks at him, pleading,
I'm not asking you to give up.
in disbelief.
You giving up?
Below, the students notice something different is going on up on the rope.
I thought this was a fight. Looks like they're negotiating up there.
Combat is the study of arguing when there is no option of diplomacy. You will face enemies who will never give up until you're dead. That is reality. Evil exists. I am here to teach you how to fight it.
Calls out.
RT, what are you doing?
RT is struggling to fend off the unseen foe.
Are you okay?
Not really.
Jonathan takes the opportunity without her choking him to start slowly coming down the rope. Instead of choking him, RT is now just holding on for dear life. The same tendril from earlier is menacing her. RT concentrates as hard as she can to fend it off. Avi knows something isn't right.
Something's wrong.
She probably just overexerted herself. She should get under the rope in case she falls.
Avi gets under the rope and Alia joins him. At this point, everyone can see that RT is just hanging on, her head buried in Jonathan's neck, quietly,
I've got you.
weakly.
Thank you.
As they descend, Jonathan sees she's fighting something. He feels it. He adds his newly learned defenses to hers, and the tendril is frightened off. Scene continues.